Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe, like and share this video, especially if you've ever wondered how armies survive the deadliest enemy they've ever faced. You need to watch this if you struggle with the cold, or want to know how soldiers have battled winter's wrath for centuries. Throughout history, armies have faced many foes, but winter is the most relentless. The cold transforms the battlefield, muffling sound, hiding dangers, and turning roads to ice. The real threat is the cold itself, an invisible enemy attacking every soldier, every moment. From Napoleon's retreat in Russia to the Battle of the Bulge, winter has often decided the outcome of wars. Heat is as vital as ammunition or food. Without it, a soldier cannot fight. Hypothermia and frostbite are stealthy killers, sapping strength and willpower. An army that cannot stay warm becomes vulnerable, no matter its numbers or tactics. Every decision, from uniforms to trenches, had to consider the battle against the cold. The human body is a furnace, but in winter it struggles to keep up. Lose heat too fast, and the consequences are dire. Fingers, toes, and even lives lost. The cold impairs judgment, slows movement, and can bring an army to a standstill. History is filled with stories of soldiers defeated not by bullets, but by the elements. These harsh lessons forced armies to turn survival into a science. Every calorie of warmth had to be earned and protected. The challenge, tens of thousands of soldiers, each fighting their own battle against the cold. A single mistake, wet clothes, poor shelter, could be fatal. Winter warfare became a brutal classroom, where only the prepared survived. In the end, the cold was a silent general, commanding with frost and wind. To survive, soldiers learned to dress in layers, not just thick coats. Each layer traps air, creating insulation and a buffer against the cold. Layering is adaptable. Remove layers when active, add them when resting. This system lets soldiers regulate body temperature and stay functional. But sweat is a hidden danger. Moisture ruins insulation and accelerates heat loss. Wet clothing conducts heat away rapidly, risking flash hypothermia. Managing moisture is as important as managing warmth. Wool wicks sweat away. Cotton traps it, hence the saying, "Cotton kills." Soldiers had to pace themselves, avoid sweating, and adjust layers constantly. The uniform became a personal climate control system. Mastery of layering and moisture management was essential for survival. Every decision about clothing could mean the difference between life and death. Soldiers became experts in their own physiology, balancing exertion and rest. In winter, discipline in dress was as important as discipline in battle. The frozen ground is a silent thief of heat. Lying directly on snow or soil drains warmth fast, even through a thick blanket. Soldiers learned to build beds from pine boughs, leaves or grass, nature's insulation. A deep, springy layer of air-trapping material kept the cold at bay. If you couldn't feel the cold through your knees, your bed was thick enough. This skill, passed from veterans to recruits, was as vital as marksmanship. Using the landscape for insulation turned deadly ground into a place of rest. Big bonfires are comforting but dangerous, visible to the enemy and wasteful. Armies relied on small hidden heat sources, pit fires, Dakota holes, and tiny stoves. Even a single candle in a snow cave could raise the temperature and boost morale. The goal was efficiency. Trap heat in small spaces, not heat the outdoors. Soldiers learned to cook, melt snow, and dry clothes with minimal risk of detection. Small flames, carefully managed, became the lifeblood of winter camps. This shift from spectacle to stealth was a revolution in survival. In winter warfare, a little heat, well conserved, made all the difference. Dampness was as deadly as cold. Wet clothes could mean death. Drying socks, gloves and gear became a daily ritual, even without big fires. Soldiers used body heat, candles and small stoves to dry essentials inside tents. Wet feet led to trench foot and frostbite, so changing socks was non-negotiable. Multiple pairs of socks and constant vigilance kept soldiers in the fight. A wet sleeping bag or rifle could be disastrous. Every flake of snow brushed off, every drop of water managed, was a survival act. The battle against damp was fought every night, unseen but vital. Discipline in drying gear determined who would be fit to fight the next day. In winter, staying dry was as important as staying warm. The body is a furnace, and food is its fuel, especially in winter. Soldiers needed calorie-dense rations, high in fats and complex carbs to generate heat. Hot meals and drinks provided immediate warmth and boosted morale. Melting snow for water was essential, as dehydration risked frostbite and fatigue. The body loses water through breath, even in the cold, so hydration was critical. Eating and drinking were not just for energy, but for survival. Every meal was a calculated deposit in the fight against the cold. Nutrition and hydration kept the internal furnace burning strong. Shelter was a soldier's fortress against the cold and wind. Blocking wind was the first priority. Lean-tos in forests, snow caves in open terrain. Snow, a natural insulator, made excellent walls for trenches and shelters. Small, cramped spaces were easier to heat with body warmth and a candle. Entrances were designed to trap warm air and keep cold air out. Every detail, from wall thickness to entrance placement, was about conserving heat. Improvised engineering turned hostile environments into survivable refugees. Building effective shelters was a skill that meant the difference between life and death. In winter war, the enemy was the cold, and shelter was the ultimate defense. Survival depended on practical physics and quick thinking. The history of winter survival is a lesson in discipline and adaptation. Gear alone wasn't enough. Routine and process saved lives. Layering, staying dry, and building insulated beds are timeless skills. The shift to small, efficient heat sources is a model for modern survival. Heat the person, not the space. Think small, conserve energy. Respect for nature's power was the ultimate lesson. Soldiers survived by understanding and adapting to the cold, not conquering it. These old methods offer wisdom for anyone facing winter's challenge today.